There we go, everyone. Hello. Yeah, it says we're live now. Uh, First thing, greetings with much love, light, and gratitude in this most glorious, auspicious time. Yeah. So it's a very beautiful time, of course, to be on the planet, despite what you may see out there around you. And of course, it's been a long, tedious journey, and it still continues the journey, if you will. But so much great ground has been covered over the last 12, 12 years. Yeah, yeah, indeed. More so notably over the last 5 years. So everything is set up great, if you will, as we continue forward. And having said that, I had mentioned in a update I had put out with some information, March 23rd to March 26th, if you will, was an important time to make choices with open doors to get in alignment with the higher timeline that was coming, if you will. And funny enough, today we saw doors opening, and let's say with creation and what was occurring here, I had a couple doors open as well, physical doors, and to see that as well. I don't need any confirmations, but it is beautiful when you see the universe showing you the signs. And I've also seen perhaps a few other divine comrades, similar things with the doors are opening. And it's opening to a very exciting higher 3 month period for those that are um, part of that higher timeline, if you will. And the introduction to that, the most highest timeline that could be sustained yet, the unprecedented timeline, last about a week ago. Yeah, for 2 or 3 days, the timeline that ones had entered in your reality and in your space, if you will, just liking to walking on the moon. And it was definitely a different reality, although things looked the same. It was definitely a different reality that had been achieved, and in a higher, harmonious, loving, uh, all of the good things of reality. So, how are we doing here? I'll just give a check. I've been begun to ramble. Um, don't know if there's. Can someone just, or may someone just put in the comment section if this is working well for you? Thank you. And I will continue. So this is a Q&A as well. Anything about the Ascension, you can put your questions in the comments section, and I can see them here, and I will answer them. And having said that, I will continue forward. So the next 12 weeks, if you will, is another 3 month period. Uh, and thank you so much, Joy. And Kyriakis. Yeah, thank you. So, what has been occurring since last September, the solstice, if you will, the equinox, uh, there was a 3 month period that took us to December, and then there was another 3 month period that took us to the 23rd of March, just a few days ago. And between the 23rd of March and 26th of March today, there were determining choices and decisions that were being made by individual divine ones uh, to more solidify the higher timeline as well and to get aligned with it, to keep it short. So, having said this, for the next 3 months, it's not definite, meaning that um, the higher timeline for the next 3 months is here, a much higher timeline than ever felt in this space, but also that lower timeline will be there, but the gap between the two is going to be a lot wider than any time yet. Uh, so with that, many will find themselves in a good peaceful place with it, and we will continue to see some rise up out of the ashes, if you will, and join the higher timeline. Now, overall, this is a planetary ascension. So what we keep doing is upstepping reality. And in this case, with this higher timeline I'm speaking about, it's the most unprecedented, achievable, sustainable timeline yet. So having said that, as we keep going higher, it brings the lower timeline up, and we keep going. When we get up here, this is the heaven on earth scenario, the fifth dimensional state, if you will, is reached. And it is a misconception for one's thinking you need the masses awake, the majority, because really you don't. With this ascension, individuals upon the planet are given a great divine prowess to work with as a co-creator to change and effect reality. And just one of these powerful, enlightened co-creators affects a million. So when you do the math quickly, you can see we're about 6,000, or no, let's take 3,000 of those divine ones in unity and in alignment with the new world, all united. Well, that takes 3 billion, if you will, boom, in there and into it. So really, it doesn't take much. It's just getting the levels of consciousness of the first wave, second, and third wave all in alignment with creating this new reality. And again, you don't really need all of the second or third wavers unless there is some of the enlightened ones are still quickly going through their tests to empowerment to comprise this. And this also can create a flashpoint, what everyone speaks about, where reality can just shift into the new reality. However, what I need to say, the flash, we are in the flash. We've been in the flash. It's just that you're experienced linear time in here, but etheric time and different time, different higher dimensional time. It's only a blink of an eye, but we're suspended in time until we get the collective consciousness to such a state of evolution that then the flash, if you will, is over and the new reality is fully here, that it's accessible to all. So, any questions at any time as I'm speaking? And if so, just put them up, because this is a Q&A as well as an update on what's occurring. The twin flames are so important, and what I suggest is to stay in physical union if you're able to. There are some exceptions. For example, Femke and I are one at the moment, but Femke has an important divine mission on what she is doing, and divinely she got called to do that. Nevertheless, all of the other twin flames, it's important to stay in physical proximity to each other. And one of the reasons with this, and I'll be doing uh, at least one twin flame teaching and informative session in the near future. But just to keep it simple for you, say this is a masculine twin flame partner and this is a feminine. You have a energetic field that typically will be out at rest. It may only be out a few inches or 10 centimeters from you, but at times it will be out 3 feet, a meter, and at sometimes it can be out up to 6 meters. So this is your energetic field that is affecting reality and creation. So when you have the two twin flame pairs, when you are in physical closeness, your combination of your energetic field exponentially affects creation. So it's not like just two coming together just to make the equivalent of two. You're actually making many, many multiples of the energy that is created with this. So it's important to understand, a little bit more about the twin flame concept. And what I can say, it is absolutely very real, and others like I and Femke can attest to it as well, and the importance of it. So it's a very sacred co-creator designation with what you do with it. And in this great time of the ascension as well, upon the planet, there's about 12 pairs of co-creator pairs, which are very powerful. And when they all come together simultaneously, it can create a flashpoint as well. So just another reason why it's good, if you feel you're with your twin flame partner, keep close this next 3 month period. Because another reason is where we have risen the timeline to an unprecedented proportion, you are much more powerful now than any time yet. So more of your gifts and your abilities will come, and there will be even gifts and abilities you didn't know you had, but you'll be introduced to them yourself. So this is a very, very, very important 3 month period for any of the twin flames, and also on the individual basis with your divine development into your power. So with this, it's a green light, if you will. Many in the past, the twin flame relationships, going through their tests and they're harmonizing things, they have reached such a point with most of these relationships, the more powerful ones, that you are going to be doing more powerful work together, and you're going to be seeing more of your effects. Now, what I was given the other day with your sacred intimacy with the twin flame pairs, when you come together, after everyone is given your own guidance, but it's important to add, what you do when you come together in your intimacy and what you're affecting with creation and reality. It's important to keep an eye on the sky after your intimacy, and to begin to look to see if you can see your face or your partner's up in the sky, if it's nighttime, if there's been changes in the regular constellations, if it's in the daytime, you got clouds, anything. It's important to keep an eye on that afterwards as well. And one of the reasons is because you can begin to gauge your effects that you're having on creation and reality. So good. Let's see, maybe some questions. Okay, thank you. Dina says, how important is the diet? Um, with that, for health reasons, one is not able to follow a strictly vegan vegetarian diet. Will that have a negative impact or slow down our ascension? Individually, Dina, there is exceptions to the rule, but the general rule of thumb is you need to be meticulous and prudent with your physical vessel. And so with that, yes, your diet is always important in this ascension. Now, what you were saying, I got to scroll back up there. It is best and it is ultimate to be at least a vegetarian and avoid meat and bird, any animal that has a soul. And all the animals that care for their young, they have a soul, so it's best not to eat any of those. And as you come up to some of the more advanced ones, you cannot eat crustaceans like lobster or crab, and you cannot eat octopus and squid, but you can eat fish that swims away from their eggs when they lay the eggs, because then that's showing the fish has no unconditional love, that it doesn't try to protect its eggs. And so those fish are all right to eat for those that wish to and feel to eat it. Um, so yes, you need to be meticulous and prudent. The diet, and this is not just myth when I say this about the diet for anyone watching. What you can actually see is the importance of the diet over the last 10 years or 20 years, setting up to be vegetarian, but also uh, being able to receive the higher knowledge and the reasoning why for it. So especially for those that are evolving the DNA in the physical vessel very rapidly, um, during this process when your DNA is restructuring, you don't wish to introduce into your vessel DNA from another, um, let's say, soul, animal soul, if you will. It gets in the mix, it slows things down, and then you'll find you'll have more and more repetitive cycles of just looping. So yes. Yeah, my internet here looks like it might have been a little bit intermittent, but we're doing good. Yeah, so any more questions, if you will? There was something else I was going to say. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, any questions you have here, I can answer. I like to say all of them in some way uh, for what I am and what I do. It's what I do, if you will. One of the things. So any questions? Yeah, just put them in there. What I need to say, Jennifer, overall on the planet, so many are suffering and struggling, and one of the main reasons is they have to make the choice to change the entire worldwide society. So many are getting pressured, stripped, and forced into a place of surrender. where they come to realize that they have to stand and get in alignment with the things to make the great change. And we are in this great time for all to do that. But what you're finding is one of the challenging things with this overall ascension is the different levels of consciousness and the different levels of fear. So when you have, this is why you have the several waves, if you will, and you have the first wavers that are giving the information back to uh, the subsequent waves, but also that is seeding the timelines with the higher knowledge, because that is the direction to go forward. See, the present knowledge upon the planet at any given time does not usually contain all of the knowledge to escape the matrix, if you will. So incrementally, it is interjected by the teachers the information to assist in the consciousness as well, so that we shift reality. And at any given time, what ones will do, and what I will do, is you test the consciousness levels, and when you see rejection from them, then you just know, okay, it's just not time yet. And then you'll maybe wait for sometimes a month, you'll test it again, and if they still reject it, well, then you have to wait again. And when you use the two labels, awakened and unawakened, as many are doing, there's many awakened, and they'll say their family is not awakened. Well, constantly, they are testing to see if they are awake. But again, at the first signs of rejection from that lower level of consciousness, you just know it's not time, and you wait. And it's futile to try to force or beat them over the head with a hammer, if you will, because it doesn't work that way. So once they are ready and open, they'll be receptive to what you're saying in the higher teachers, and this advances them forward. Laura Martin, how do you know if someone is a twin flame? With twin flames, what I like to say is that there's many different concepts and ideas of what twin flames are. And there are also different types of twin flames. Ideally, what we're doing with this overall ascension, once we get everyone to a fifth dimensional state that is going there, then everyone does have a consort, a twin flame, if you will, and it's a harmonious, loving, sacred relationship, and that's what we are taking the world towards, because again, the love between two is sacred, and by having that full attention for the other, it's also what propels each one forward with their energy and their growth. And so having said this, how do you know you have a twin flame? Well, there's also what is called as twin flame catalysts, and typically they'll be in a soul family. Upon the planet, what I like to say is there's 12 big soul families, and within those soul families, you will have what is like a twin flame catalyst at times that this occurs, that you could come together with a catalyst. But the true twin flame is when you have both your kundalinis, your merkabas activated, and when you go into your intimacy, you are making the cosmic pulses out into the universe. To keep it simple, in your intimacy, you are firing up all of the chakras, all of the energetic power. You feel it in your body and you know it, and those are the real twin flames, if you will. So, and it's also a journey. I'll be speaking more in depth on the higher twin flame knowledge. I have number two to do on that. I did a twin flame one, number one, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, and just to more or less put the bases in. Now with twin flame two, I'm going to go into more details and reasons why it's important to the overall ascension and also divinity. So, so with that, Laura, thank you. Yeah. So, oh, and how do you know? In the beginning, you don't know because there could be catalysts, but this is in the beginning with you think you have a twin flame. This is where you begin to build your trust and go into the relationship to find out if you do. And it's possible during your development that you could have two or three different uh, twin flame catalysts that comes in to make you more powerful and to learn your mastery and these sort of things. So the real truth is, for the most part, you don't know which one it is until you come together and you've got all of the energy working, as I said, then you have the right one. And of course, you'll be developing more of the telepathy and all of the other parapsychological gifts and even more, and you'll see the effects on creation as well. Uh, so Terry Duff says, I have no partner, so I have no twin flame. Will I feel or act different? Terry, right in, you have no partner yet, but it's so important with this overall ascension that ones don't restrict themselves because things can change in the blink of an eye. And also, the real truth is, like I know you, Terry, you're going forward, so somewhere in the future, you have a partner. Once one of the things I like to say when a twin flame concept comes up into one's awareness, then it means that somewheres, if not on this planet in this dimension, they have a partner. It could be in another dimension. So just because you don't have any here right now, don't exclude the possibility that you could have one uh, come in a day, and because this is it's very magical, it's very real, and it's a very important divine delegation, and but nevertheless, yeah, you, Terry, will act a little bit different and feel a little bit different, but let's say you're still doing your divine role, whatever that may be here at this time. So it's important for individuals, don't think you're something less just because you're not with a twin flame or a partner. It's you're doing your own empowerment to be part of the whole going forward. But as I said, somewheres up here you have a partner. But then again, there are exceptions to the rule, and it's also what partly it depends upon the soul and, if you will, their contract with the mother and father, prime creator. So it's important just to keep open on it all and watch how it progresses forward. And the more neutral you keep, it's more things come to you and you advance quicker, as you know. So one of the simple basics, always keep an open mind because truth is changing as we go forward, and follow the most powerful resonating things with you to propel you forward. Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, and yeah, with the twin flame thing, sometimes it can be, yeah, when one needs to do certain part of their work, or in Femke's, in my case, she got called divinely, and Father said it's what she is doing is a very important part of the mission. So with it, for me, with my absolute love I have for Femke, I have to, from the human part of me as well, I gotta put that aside because it's the priority is the divine plan, and for I, where I am connected directly to Father Prime Creator and Mother Prime Creator, it's easier because I'm just told, she's going to do an important part of her energetic prowess, if you will. So, and whatever other part of the divine mission that she's given. But yeah, I know, this twin flame love is it's what everyone wanted. Even when you're a human, you're always looking for that greatest love, that pure, great love that was magical, and this is what it is, the twin flame love, the real love. It is here upon the planet now, and as ones of you know, it's just not like the puppy dog um, love. It's not just a little warm feeling in the chest. This love has got all of the energy working, and it's not human, if you will. It's divine, and but so many more are divinely having that opportunity to experience what a true love is, and that's so important. And once we can speak about it, but the experience, you got to have the experience to know it, and this is the thing. Then once you know it, and there is no questioning, it is real. Yeah. So it's great. Ah, can we use a hammer just to release some? No. Father and also the Galactic said no on that joy. And thank you, Jennifer, and greetings, Laura. Captured the cup, the lion, and victory. Woo! Yeah. 20 years you've been at it, Jennifer. Yeah. I've been with Father with the Ascension when it was briefed on everything 2011, 2012. I was like, okay, good. I anticipated in a few years we'd have it all done, and here we are 12 years later. But again, it's because of the variables. What occurs because you have so many co-creators upon the planet, and these co-creators have different levels of consciousness, and they also have to go through their purifying experience. So you have so many variables with it that it's difficult to pinpoint a linear time. So what I always, like to say, just keep connected to Mother and Father Prime Creator. Know that you are the light, and keep it as streamlined as you can going forward, and know that we're all going to at least the fifth dimensional space. And that way you don't get caught up into storylines that are false or disempowering. You keep streamlined right with all of the good things that's going to get you there. So don't get distracted so much by the stories, and like Femke calls it, the movie. It's watch it, but know it's a movie, and uh, don't get controlled by it. We are leaving that old reality and we're going into the new. Thank you. Hey, Ireland. George says, are you still, yeah, still in Romania, George. Not right by Buceg Mountains, but close, and very important area. Yeah. So just still here yet. My divine guidance from Father is not, I guess, to stay here just for a little bit yet, but that can change in the blink of an eye. Um, so with Femke and I, there are three important areas upon the planet uh, that needs to be physically visited, and let me say the holographic room in Egypt, that's been done. Femke and I did it. The holographic room in Mount Buseg, Femke and I did that, and we did this by being in close physical proximity and remote viewing, remote conscious access in to do what needs to be done. And there is one more that I'm given at this time, a very important area that in the future we will be there. So, I'll scroll down, see if there's any more questions here. Yeah, hang in there. It's been very challenging, but when you get very, perhaps in a low moment, just remember the most profound, divine things that occurred, and get yourself hauled back up, and know that it's real, and don't doubt it. It is real, and we're doing it. Joy at 40 years, yeah, there was some, been awake and knowing it for so long. Yeah, and this is what it is, we keep, it's not that we keep waiting for them to wake up, because you don't want to be stagnant, waiting and just not doing anything. It's important what occurs when you do your own development and keep going forward. Then you awaken more and you bring them. But if you just sit there under the tree waiting, nothing happens, because you are the one to take them forward. So you need to be empowered, and then you create the next higher vibration reality, and then they will follow. So it's important to know this as well. And it is in the past, it was tedious, but this is why the unity is so important. Keep with the like-minded. Keep putting out the higher information, seeding the information stream worldwide with the higher information, and this assists in raising the vibration quickly. Just one moment. I'm just going to take a quick break here. I'll be right back. Or maybe not. No, alright, I'll answer a couple more questions, and then I'll may shut this down for now. So Mary says, feeling strange, floating, yeah, and slow motion. The time, I'd mentioned this before too, I keep so busy, in the past. I'm getting time freed up now because in the last 5 years I've like bulldozed in, uh, divinely getting everything set up that I'm divinely set up for the planet. And we have now reached a very pivotal point that I can begin to relax a bit more with this and put the focus on putting more of the creation into the new reality. Um, so with this, your linear time, yes, you'll also notice that being affected. But what I need to say, there is so much occurring that I don't get the time to put it all out and to share with you all. But at the same time, I also keep an eye on, and I see some other beautiful teachers will put it out, meaning, they're also getting the information, which is good. Um, but I divinely multitask, so that has kept me so busy in the last 5 years. But now, I believe, Father, and hopefully, I'm getting a little bit more rest, if you will. Well, that's a great question, Elizabeth Walsh. She says, "Hey Rick, how do we discern false light beings when receiving guidance?" What I wish to say is that, and this is could be a lengthy topic as well, but I'll keep this as short as possible. One of your greatest discernment tools is your heart. But once you are awakened more into your Christ consciousness, both become very powerful tools connected together. Your heart and your consciousness becomes one discernment vehicle. So over the course of time in your experiences, you come to see the signs of the false light, and you begin to recognize them with your discernment, so you weed out what's false and what's true. And with this, I have done as well, it's important to know tactics of the darkness. But simply what the tactics of the darkness is to separate, divide, and conquer, and also feed disempowering false narrative storylines. So if you see any that is teaching, telling one's anything that would disempower them, or telling them that the Anunnaki actually made them, well, that's a disempowering, degrading narrative, and it's not true. We are the omnipotent light, so there is nothing on the planet that's more powerful than you. You are not subservient to another race or what have you. So there's many ways that and everything in the highest realm, everything here does play a valuable role, even if it's the false light. What it does, it sharpens your skills at identifying lies and truth as well. So it does play the role. However, we are at a point now where there is no evil here on this higher timeline for many. It's only what occurs is with the lower timeline here, there is very little evil left. But what occurs is where one co-creators think and believe it is, they keep that story alive, if you will. And if once they all know that there isn't any evil left, we all ascend up very quickly into the reality where it doesn't exist, because then it's not constantly co-created by ones that are in places of fear as well. Bridget says, please describe the event when it occurs. What I say with the event, we are in it. It's like the Flash. It's just that you're in it in linear time. So the event has been ongoing since November the 18th to the 23rd of 2012. That's when the event began, and it's ongoing. And you mentioned on a recent video that not as many souls are going to ascend uh, in the physical, with their physical vessel. Yes, I need to make that point clear. And it says, what will this look like for those who ascend and those that don't? Let me make this again. I'll clarify this, that we are ascending. Those, everyone ascends in some shape, every soul ascends, but there are soul-less minions on the planet. There was about 2 billion. They don't go forward, they stay behind in another timeline. And what you'll witness with the transitioning, you'll see many of them dying as well. But also with the souls that cannot make it with their bodies, what they do is go through a death process, but they never die, they ascend. It's just that they are ascending differently. Then there's the overall planetary ascension that is taking as many of the humanoids forward into the fifth dimensional reality. But also what is occurring because of one of the variables, the number that is going into the fifth dimensional reality, the longer it takes to do this, it's lessening because many souls are unable to make it. So the quicker we get into the higher reality, the heaven on earth, what you do is you open up all of the technology, but the longer it takes to get there, there is no healing in this environment. That's why it's so important with all of the light workers to come together in unity to raise the entire vibration of the planet. And we gpms.world is the divine plan. This is from God to do this. And what this does, the more that's in alignment and agreement with it, it is the higher energetics of where stress doesn't exist, and it creates the environment where many will make it. But we're running into, in the past, there's many limitations on the consciousness and the old controls, if you will, without getting into this. Just give me a moment and I'll be right back. Yeah, so as I said, I'm in Romania here, and one of the micro examples that I see is I'm in a rural area, and the ambulances going by in the last 2 weeks has increased exponentially. So many are dying, and also I spoke with one last night in Serbia, the same thing with many young people as well. And we know this is occurring, that they cannot make it because the healing modalities and technologies are not here um, for the public. It is on the planet, but the problem is the present power regime that's keeping everything from everyone. So I need to make this very clear that this is why the quickest way to do this, and we can create a flashpoint if you will, is all of the lightwork communities coming together in unity, all the twin flame peers in physical union. We get everyone together. You're creating a very huge uplifting vibration of love and light. And what this does, it advances the timelines, it advances reality forward much quicker, and then many more can be saved, if you will, with their physical vessel intact. Now, this is, but also, what has occurred, you need to know that the darkness were the masters of trickery and illusion and deceit and deception. So, because of this, they created so many false storylines. And, storylines that could be quite convincing, yet they are lies. And what this has done, it has also, in the past, it's separated and segregated light communities, because this is the tactics of the darkness. So what we are doing with the ultimate divine plan of GPMS.world again, anyone go to the website and consent on there. This brings all of them together, and then it's done, the ascension. But it's a lot of false information that's put in, that there's false hopes and expectations on other things that is causing the separation in the past. But we're in a very important day today, so this might all, the unity could occur in a few days, and we get this done, because we're actually right on the threshold of it. And there is also that on the lower timeline, there is that sense of urgency to get it done. And again, we need to get all together in unity, know that they're here for a divine reason. And it's all these levels of consciousness, that we're dealing with. So it is quite complex, but what I need to say divinely, with what's going on, my eyes and others are into everything, monitoring, engaging it, and uplifting it to the best of our ability. So once we have enough co-creators in unison and working together, we can do this much quicker, and that's what we're doing. So we got this next 3 months. It may not need to go to 3 months, perhaps in a week, that we can create that flashpoint. But again, there's so many variables in the environment. The reality environment has to also be right, with ones coming together that creates enough energy, that creates the fusion to do it as well. So, so right at this time, and saying on here, I think about a week or so ago, when I was in communion with Father and the Divine Council, of which I'm a part of, the last thing we had going forward, my last update, that there would be about 5 billion that would make it forward. In my last update, what I got, it was down to only about half would make it forward into the 5th dimension. And this is because where things have been prolonged because of choices and decisions of ones as well. This is why the other day I had to put out the post to remind everyone that of the important choices and decisions to keep them in alignment with getting this new reality created as soon as possible. In this way, we can, if you will, save more human souls. So there is that divine element that is connected to the human souls that are not awakened enough yet. So it is a very delicate divine operation as well. And again, but we're doing it. We're doing it. Every day another one becomes stronger and stronger, and the more we have stronger standing side by side together, the quicker it gets done. And this is what's happening in this time. Just looking to see here if there's other questions. Yeah, Andrea says, it excites me when you and Femke take pictures while doing grid work when you have the time. Yeah, one of the reasons I'm laughing at this, there are more things that occur, and sometimes my camera won't pick it up, but there's also times that things will occur that you're not allowed to make pictures of yet. But so just to let you know, there is more content. And what I need to say, Femke's a better photographer than I am, and if I see something and Femke's not right beside me, well, I don't usually get the good pictures of it. But yeah, there's magical things. Some things we're allowed to share, and some things not yet, at least. Uh, Hi, Siana. She asked, I'm starting to feel energy from the earth like nothing before. You're correct, because we have increased the electromagnetic field. We have been taking the negative ions, electrons out of it, and we've been from the central sun putting positrons in, which is increasing the energetic value of the entire planet, which creates the upward lift. But without getting too technical on it, she says it feels like electricity jolting through your feet. Yes, this is the electrical component. And you say, how should I redirect that energy? Well, with this, it's important to redirect it upward, connect to the etheric, imagine a thread between you and upward, because it's an electrical current that you can attach to the etheric, if you will, and it assists in creating upward lift of Gaia, the planet herself, but also reality. So this is very good that you're feeling this. And what I need to say, more and more are beginning to feel electrical impulses in their vessels. And this is very important too, because it has many purposes. And another one is with your electromagnetic field, your aura, your own field. It's upgrading and enhancing it, and it's also an introduction that will come with more of your gifts that you had in your tools. For example, you feel electrical coming. Part of your gifts may be able to use electric from the fingertips. So it's connected to many gifts, and also your overall physical vessel transformation and transitioning as we go forward. And of course, your connection to the electromagnetic sentient body of Gaia herself, because you're an important divine feminine mother that is connected to this energy, and also our beautiful moon. It's all connected as we take it forward, if you will, into the celestial space. But right, we're going. We are already there in Andromedon, but it may look like we're not because it's two different realities. But the 14th dimension tractor beam, if you will, is on Gaia, on the planet, and it's secured, and we are raising um, this fifth dimensional space higher and higher without making that too complicated. Well, Jennifer says it's depleting for the feminine. No, 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 it's empowering, and you're becoming more powerful, and we'll see what occurs, you know, how much more free time I have in the next few weeks. I may be doing sessions, assisting ones again, free of charge. And if I do that, I'll put it out on Facebook to assist ones with their divine guidance and things at this time. But I'll see what occurs. Yeah. So just keep going forward, be in full trust, and just keep doing that. Dina, with the April the 8th eclipse, it is making a difference, and it is going to have an impact. And one of the reasons why, it's like mass meditation, and with the conscious belief that it does affect and create reality. And there also can be some pleasant surprises with this as well. So let's see what occurs with it. Yeah, we've already reached high turning points, but this one coming, yeah, very good. Yeah, the alpha and is very important with this, without going much rambling on everything connected to it as well. Laura Martin asks, can we initiate a grand solar flash with majority of the collective raising the vibration to 5D? Uh, Laura, the Father's answer I'm receiving is yes, yes. We know we can. It's just we got to get everyone together in their most powerful states, and then all together, poof, it can do it at any time. Ah, just scrolling here to see if there's other questions. Hi May from Southtown. Not sure if I remember right off. We speak with so many. Uh, just can't say right at the moment. Yeah, the children are beautiful, Jennifer. I'm just scrolling there, everyone. Yeah, just seeing if there's some more questions here. Yeah, thank you all for the acknowledgement of all the truth with with this, and recognizing that it is. That's very important. Still scrolling a little bit. Seeing if there's any question marks. I'm looking for, if you got a question, make sure you put the question mark because I'm scrolling uh, through it quickly. Nevertheless, we've been about an hour, and I think I'm going to keep this one short. The last one, Jonita says, so the split between 3D doesn't exist anymore, but she's asking between 3D and 5D is about to happen. And what I said, and 2.5 million souls are going to 5D. What I need to say with what I said about that, and thank you for bringing it up, Yonita, I believe, is that at this given time, what I received the other night, is that at this given time, considering all circumstances, that only about 2.5 billion souls would be going to 5D. But, however, it's very important. If circumstance changes in the next few days, this number also could change and go back to 4 billion or 5 billion, because what is playing out is the length of time it takes for the unity and for the energy to advance. So we already won the battle, but there's still that spiritual battle, to some degree, that's going on, that's confusing ones, disempowering ones with false beliefs. But once we get everything together, it could be, Father could give me, let's say in 2 days from now, 6 billion now are going to make it. And it changes because it changes with the choices that all make and how quick they come into alignment. So there's so many variables in this that we are seeing constant change. But the longer it is prolonged, the less that will make it. Yes. And that is the message to give out for ones to know that this is serious and there is the urgency with it. And I'm not a door-to-door salesman with this, but divinely, we brought gpms.world. Go to that website, read it. It's the divine plan, strategy, end goal, everything all in one. It's the heaven on earth. But what's occurring, it's the promise being fulfilled. Humanity was told this time would come. So now it's here on the planet. You've just got to choose it to solidify it into creation. And the beauty of it, everyone votes in it. Everyone consents in it. Even a 2-minute old child that is born, their guardian, their parent can also add their vote. Their vote counts. Every child's vote counts in this as well. This is the new world, and the children are part of creating it, and they have the rightful say in it without me going too deep into it. But it's very important to know this, and even anyone that is knowledgeable of metaphysics and spirituality and divinity and how energy works, it's common sense with the divine plan. You put your focus on it, you support it and agree with it, and the bigger it gets, we are now close to 107,000 part of this universal nation, which is the divine plan. This is very huge because you have co-creators in here, and it's affecting reality. And the quicker we get this done to get the majority voice upon the planet, everyone is free of suffering, is ended forever. Everyone has more than enough. This is an abundant planet. There's more than enough here for everyone. And without going too much into that. So, yeah, this is. I'm getting ready, Rhonda, and I didn't want this one to get into GPMS. We can do another one on GPMS to be more specific, to answer more questions, and to connect it. Well, it is directly connected to the Ascension because this is GPMS and this is the new world. So GPMS is the arc, is the rapture, the upliftment into the new world, to the promise. So one's, they don't really, if they don't need to know all the particulars, they don't. It's simple. You just ask one, okay, we're making the new world. Do you agree with it? Do you support it? Do you want this new free and abundant world where everyone's happy? And if they say yes, then just consent. Takes 2 minutes and it's done. So it doesn't need to be complicated. They just need to know that it's a new world, and logically the majority rules, so it's a worldwide majority vote. And once the majority worldwide votes, consents, says yes to this, it's done. The people rule, and this is the simple logic of it. Someone doesn't even need to be awake. Someone doesn't even need to believe in God, if you will. All they need to do is look at it. Worldwide referendum. They know the majority rules and wins. We're collecting that majority voice for this new world. So it's logically simple as well. So, yeah. And the ringing is good. It's the vibration that you hear. With that, I must go again, and I'm going to end this one. And thank you so much. Such great questions, and I'm going to. I believe what Father said. What I may be doing is scheduling at least one live for a Friday evening for a while, every Friday evening. But with things change so much, but it's just a proposition so that we can connect more and I get more information out as well. And it's easier to do it this way instead of on an individual and message, and so it's great. So, having said that, I'm going to go, and much love, light, and gratitude to you all, and woohoo! We made it. We truly did. So have a great, great evening, or day, or dawn, wherever you may be. Thank you.